Well, let's do that. Let's go to court right now. Here we go. This is it. Today's the day it all goes down. And then there was yesterday. Uh-huh. Gotcha. For sure. It happened. It did. You're not wrong. Alright. Okay. And I think I know why. Time to bring down a little justice. Oh god, no. What was that about? What was that? What? Oh, hi. Valant Grammari. It might be Grammari. Grammari. But I kind of like Grammari. It sounds magician-like. Using the door like an average muggle. A Sahari pooper. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valant? A preposterous proposition. How could I stand to stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Ooh, with vanishing magic? Indeed, I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. But before I go, a word of warning. Warning? What? A grand Grammari glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. A glamour. A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell. Okay. And there he goes. He sure seemed happy about that illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. You can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually it involves cutting up things. Whoa! At the Eiffel Tower, huh? So he was talking about what he saw at the concert, what we saw. Lemoire's disappearing act. And Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. Didn't explode. I wonder what he meant by it being at the root of all that has happened. Well, it's about time, shall we go? And then you got the cocoon and killing by the lyrics. It's just like, why? Why? Why any of it? The scheduled starting time for the trial's been changed. Why? Did something happen? This is a first. It was by the judge's request, some urgent personal business. Maybe the dude he was visiting in the hospital or something. Oh, is that relevant? Or... oh yeah! The hospital. I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. And what the hell is... what does this have to do with anything? What? Why? What? Why? What? Maybe that has to do with the cocoon? Maybe he was gonna sell it to the Chief Justice? For his son? That's weird. Yep, Incuritis syndrome, first case in country. I'll let you read that article for us, Apollo. Just leave the TV guide page to me. Try not to lose the page with the funnies if you can. Okay. Now. 10:30. My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of, how do you say this name again? Machitube, you are a suspect fortissimo. Right, it's his trial, in any case. The defense is prepared, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready to rock. Is something wrong, Your Honor? No, well, yes. It's just, I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time. Incuritis, was it? That article said there is no cure, no known cure. Judge, let me say with all honesty I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law. Indeed. We left off at quite the juncture yesterday. Uh-huh. I know. Help. Get me out of this hell! Wake me up inside! Save me! Save me from the nothing I've become! Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Darien would guest star in the season cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Darien Crescend is a member of my band, the Governors. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case or file new charges. And your reason is? Weren't you aware, Air Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Governors ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guest took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamoire, and Machi, along with a drummer and bassist, for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamoire and the defendant, Machi Tobey, had left the stage at that point, and the Governors were already rocking. This is when 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by Detective Emma Skye, mind you. And Apollo, you heard them too, right? I sure did. Furthermore, Lamoire herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime, when she claims to have heard Mr. Latouche and Detective Crescend talking. But that's impossible, Detective Crescend was... Precisely, Detective Crescend was on stage getting his groove on, no less. Voila. A perfect alibi. Does the defense have anything to add to this? It's true. When I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Darien Crescend's alibi has been acknowledged, which means that Lamoire was sadly mistaken. The testimony cannot be true. Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. We haven't started the trial yet! Come on, man! There's plenty of objections. Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Lamoire might have been lying to protect Machi. How can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? Don't! Oh god. Machi was trying to tell us something. I know it. Maybe the best thing to do is ask him, under oath. Very well, the court finds the defendant, what was his name again? Darien Crescend. Don't question it. Your Honor? No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquise or Mr. Justice. Or was he saying... He stopped his sentence and then he... whatever. Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else do you need to hear from? A witness who, until now, has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Machi Tobey. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. The defense calls defendant Machi Tobey to the stand. What? But he doesn't speak English? We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak... Dude, we have Lamoire. I love you. Where is the toilet? Those are important. The defense would like to request Lamoire as the interpreter. Lamoire? But there's a possibility she's protecting the defendant. But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie? This is most unusual. The prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamoire lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of the language should be enough for that. Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant and Lamoire to the witness stand. Well, we got 2 people up there. I suppose there is a first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with, if you would, Lamoire. Yes. He says, Machi Tobey, the defendant. This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular. So far, so good. Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would. Huh? If I would what, Your Honor? Would what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What would you have him testify about? What do I want him to testify about? Aren't you going to ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday? How can I if I don't know what he was saying? Excuse me a moment, if I might speak. Yes, Lamore? Just now, Machi said there is something about which he wishes to testify. Okay. What could it be? What sort of testimony is he talking about? One moment, please. The suspense is killing me. What could it be? What? 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 Lamore? According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence. I would have liked to have heard that sooner. What? Look at his fucking weird-ass pants. This is a surprise. Yahoo! Victory, Apollo, we did it! This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means. Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony, Machi. Please testify to the court. Very well. He says that word of Mr. Letus's death came as a great shock, but if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, I, that is, he, could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. Well, I mean, that's nothing definitive, but it's a start, I suppose. That would prevent him from following them so closely. I wondered what he meant by proof. Why he would only have to ask Lamore to know the meaning of that song. Lamore, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him? I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail, and he never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lamore might be protecting the witness. Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet. Are we gonna perceive? Oh shit. I was just gonna press, but we're going for the balls. I mean, it's gotta be on the last one, right? It's a shock. It's gotta be this one, right? Come on. Where are we gonna look? We can see his eyes behind the glasses. Look around at his mouth, too. Oh! He glanced! Does he speak English after all? Because there was that thing before where the bracelet was going off when we were in the detention center. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamore said the word English. Don't bother interpreting that, he understands me. You motherfucker. Tell the truth, you can understand English, can't you? What are you saying? Of course he can't. Must he continue this charade? Mr. Justice, Machi... what the fuck? Why is he doing the judge? Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English. Huh? Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language, that is all. Give me a break. Is that such an unusual word to understand? Do you not know Espanol, for instance? Well, yeah, but... I am sorry, but he truly does not understand your language. Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics? Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad? Yup. It is simple. So simple it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper. The newspaper? The Borginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland. I was right. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden. Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. Well, we have the bugle. Wait, what does it say? It doesn't mention the lyrics. Okay. Well, that's, thank you for being so specific with the item description there. In the exact way that I needed. Indeed, there is a feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? Nah. Oops. Sorry, kid. I'm on your side, but you speak English. Thought we were getting some Cyclops for a second or so. So, okay, we're getting out of there. Anyway, what does this mean? But I don't see how it's possible. I know. He must have heard the lyrics when the police were doing their questioning. Yes. Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself. The lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. The witness will explain to him... yeah. Machi says, he says... Yes? It is true I read the newspaper, but this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember. You remember? He says he heard of the lyrics from me. What? Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself. Then it looks like our forehead's been jumping to conclusions again. It seems so, yes. No, no. I was onto something, I know it. I can't let this chance slip away. This time is an issue today, Mr. Justice. Are you finished with the cross-examination? What are you going to do, Apollo? If I'm going to keep on cross-examining, I'd better have an angle of attack. Or else. My bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue. If you must, you must. Very well, witness. I understand. Well, okay, well, it's got to be on this new one, then. Who are we going to look at? I mean, she was the one speaking, so I guess it's her. But, I mean, he might react. He might react when... She gulped again! Gotcha! I really like this. I like the perceive thing, now that it's not being hand-holdy. I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain? Me? Uncertain? Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court. It was I who explained. I see there is little point in trying to hide anything from you. Lemoire, are you indeed protecting someone? That is not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I do not believe it myself. Then allow me to answer for it for you. Lemoire, you're protecting... Well, the most obvious choice would be Machi. Is it a trick question? I don't really know why it would be. So we'll go with Machi. Here you go. Lemoire, you're protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it, really. I trust you. But you've lied to us twice. And now you have Lemoire lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me, too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to. Yup. Witness, is this true? Do you understand English? Yes, a little, only. I'm gonna give him the Olga voice. Borginia, Russia, same thing. What? First he could see, now he can talk. Well, he could always talk. And you did not know about this, Lemoire? No, I did not. It is quite a surprise. How many secrets is this witness hiding? This is last. Machi, could you tell us what really happened? No shooting. I did no shooting. So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those 2 gunshots, correct? I feel bad for him. Oh, she's gone now. He's just a kid. Alone. With broken English, being accused of murder. I was in dressing room, behind the desk. Manager, he on floor. You were behind the desk? Then there is voice. Voice, or voices. Was it you and Emma, Apollo? So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche had already been shot? And then we came to the door. Panel high up. I take off. Run away. Run away. So it was you who escaped through that air vent. How interesting. That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. and I'll see you guys next time.